Hello, is this thing on? Good morning. Good morning, chat. Look at Bork knows all the tools and tricks about the emotes and the highlighting and the ink drops. I don't even know how to use all this stuff. Can I unlock a random sub emote? Ooh, check. Okay. You already have Pen Addict's emotes unlocked. Check them out on your emote picker. Okay. So sorry, I'm playing with Twitch. We're gonna play with Twitch a lot more when I get to move, but we'll worry about that later. How is everyone doing today? Good morning, everybody who said good morning in the chat. Good morning. Happy almost Friday. I am down for that. It is definitely almost Friday. That is a fact. Good morning, Talmax. How are you lovely people doing this morning? Everyone having a good stationary week? Sunny and warm Toronto. I like it. Toronto, I can't wait to get back to Toronto. It's roasting in the UK. It seems to be roasting everywhere right now, unfortunately. But yeah, I hope to get back to Toronto one of these years. Won't be this year, but you know, I would like to hang out in that town more. That's my kind of town. Schmevelin, you can't wait to buy the Sailor Wicked Witch. You still gonna have someone? Jay Miller setting his alarm, getting up early. Actually, your daughter probably woke you up. You're probably already awake. Going through one of your old Zebuladones, is that how we say it? Said, what ink is that? I really like it. It was Shinkai. It's funny how that happens. And it's a lot of times Shinkai is the answer. That's pretty funny. So I got to look at the Zebuladones thing today. I will take possession of a Dialogue 3 on Saturday, so that's a good stationary week for me. Nice. What are your expectations for the Dialogue 3, Evan? Do you have any expectations for the Dialogue 3? Firestarter, you converted a new friend to the pen hobby? That is awesome. How did you do it? Was there any one pen or one paper? Thunder Viking, I saw some Lamy links, but I didn't click through them. Were those actually new? Like I saw like some metal, like a silver metal looking shape. Let's look at those. We'll look at those in a minute. Cal, sub, thank you so much. 14 months. That's awesome. You get a cheer. Getting ready to drive halfway across the country and hoping we pack our pens and ink safely enough. That's a fact. So for me, if I've ever had to do that, it's always, okay, are my electronics safe and do I have all the chargers accessible? And are the pens safe and the ink's not going to blow everywhere? So yeah, that's the thing. So let me, Thunder Viking, if you have those links handy, I think they probably scrolled off all my screens quickly. If anyone has those Lamy announcements, I want to take a look real quick because that caught my eye and then I didn't have time to go back. Evan, trying to keep expectations down so I don't get disappointed, but I like it. It's a retractable pen with a nib bigger than the tiny VP nibs. I think you might like it. Like, I don't dislike the dialogue. I think it's technically poor. I think there's some issues with it. Tony, I'm afraid to click that link. What is that link? Took a bunch of pens on a plane twice in the last week. It went perfectly fine. Good. You're following good flight rules and regulations when flying with fountain pens. It's easy. Like flying with fountain pens does not faze me as long as I'm aware. Oh, it's the Lamy video. So let's see. Shardy would have been interested in where to start. She'll like microtip pens. Nice. All right, should we watch this Lamy video together? The Pen Addict, more like the Ben Addict. Use this insult if you ever talk about someone called Ben. Man, super interesting. Flying with gel pens than FPs, yeah. The Dialogue CC was leaked a while ago. Let me pull this up. Let's see if we can watch this together. Let's see how this works. All right. Oh, it's just a 30-second video, so yeah, we'll definitely watch this. All right, y'all ready? Let's see if the audio comes through for y'all too. I'm not sure. Full screen it? Okay. We're gonna watch this more than once. I'll full screen it this time. Let me finish this one. Wow. I'm gonna need to take a break. Oh, hang on. We're gonna watch Fig Boot. Ah, go away, Fig Boot. Okay, hang on. Pause. All right, I'm gonna full screen this. Let's see. I'll at least. Is this what you mean? Full screen it? Let's do this. There's a lot going on in this video, chat. There is a lot. Oh, I see. This one. Theater mode. There you go. How about that? Thanks, Meg. Alright. That was that one. Let's see this other one. This was the one I was thinking I saw. Yeah. This is the one that caught my eye yesterday. We'll keep this up big on here though, so everyone can see it if you're on a mobile device. Do we have pricing yet? This is the Ideos, so this is a completely new model. It's expensive. All right, this is not impressive. All right, let me pause this. I don't know what this is what Lamy does that infuriates me. Like, this is a nothing burger, right? To me. Like, it's perfectly fine. But we have Lamy Studios, we have Lamy Ions, we have all of these things that Lamy does. What exactly is this? Right? That's what I'm interested on. That's why I didn't rush to click on this link, because I saw just the raw picture of it, which, like, you look at this picture and you go, how is that a new Lamy? What is new about this pen? They change the edges of the front and back of the barrel a little bit. Like, this one doesn't. This is not inspiring. This is why Lamy hire me. The dialogue, on the other hand, I think we can at least talk about. Yeah, this is not trying very hard, Tony. I don't think. This is not impressive. Let me go back to. Can I pull up the front page of this one? Okay, let's at least have this up. All right. So what does the CC stand for? Does anyone know? Even supposing asked that same question. So what are we doing? Oh, Meg, do not feel like an outsider at all. You just use that pen and be happy about it. Like, I'm totally down with that. So what are we doing here? So we have a dialogue with no clip, right? It has less barrel adornments, right? It doesn't have the racing stripes, things like that. Get composted. I remember those. They weren't bad last year. I didn't think. I didn't mind it, and I don't mind these. I thought the other one was not so good. This one's fine. All right. So what does CC stand for? Does anyone know? Did y'all figure this out? Was that in that link for the fountain pen? We need to know what CC stands for and what the price point is. Store catalog. Sorry, I'm just gonna flip through this while it's on the screen. Nothing. Images. No price. All right, I don't know. Creative Cloud. This is the Lamy Creative Cloud. You would think it would be cartridge converter, but all the dialogues are cartridge converter. It's not like they're a piston filler and they're changing it to cartridge converter. They already were. Every version of the dialogue before it. Lamy is too limited by their design parameters. Yes. And it is especially telling in their higher end pens. Carbon copy. I like that, Swilly. I'm going to use that. So that's the biggest issue I have with Lamy, or what I would like to see more from Lamy is a change in the higher end. Everything above the Safari and the All-Star. Anything above those pens, give me something different. Like, I love the Studio. The Lamy Studio is an awesome pen. Retractable Knib. Oh, Lord. So anything above the Safari and All-Star, they need to do something. Like, honestly, the studios that they did a couple years ago with like the all black studio, like that was at least cool, right? And they do the unique colors for the studio because it's still a good price point and a good value. I'll even include the studio in that price point. But above that, once you get out excluding the 2000, which they'll never change, and rightfully so, every other high-end Lamy it's pretty much a non-starter from the jump. It's just not good enough. The designs are like, this design is cool. I'm interested to see what the price is and what the CC stands for. Concealed carry. It could look for concealed carry. Maybe it stands for Coco Lena. So this is the Lamy Dialogue Coco. I know, the blue and red ions. And I like the ion, but what makes me pick up the ion now? Like, it's a completely fine pen, but it's just uninteresting. And that's what Lamy tends to do, anything in this $200 price point, which these have to be $200, right? I mean, there's no way this is less than $200, right? I don't know. And then the other one, I already forgot the other name of it because I don't even care about it. That it's probably the $100 to $150 model, maybe less. It could sneak in less than 100. June Miracle, sub for 7 months. I give you a cheer. Good to see you. Same price as the current dialogue, which is what, like $225? Isn't it over 2? Like 2 1/4, something like that. Closer to 3. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, it's got to be well over 200. Like 300. Okay. I bought mine years ago and I can't even remember what I paid for it. So Kate's not stopping. Ceramic construction. I like that one. Oh God. Evan Max, that's not a bad idea at all, especially with this design, right? This design is simpler than the standard dialogue, even though the standard dialogue isn't that much, but the standard dialogue had the clip, had the racing stripes, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that would have been, I would have been down for that. Give me this with a steel nib, and I think we have a different conversation, right? For $150, maybe? I don't know. So now I need to officially review my Dialogue 3 before this comes out, because I'll have to get one of these to review. I really don't like the round front end and the flat back end. Even though it's not flat, it's curved or concave. Maybe it means concave. Any news on that new Pilot knock knock twisting knock knock? It's not where I don't see how that's going to be successful at all. Bork. It is over $400 for a twist. And I think it's worse looking. I don't like the barrel band on that one. You would never buy that for $150 even if it had a gold nib. I'm not arguing that. That's probably right. But I would get this. But I really don't like the visual of the rounded front and the flat, edgy back. Question, does this look like a digital drawing stylus to anyone else or just me? No, it does. I mean, I've got my Apple Pencil right here. So yeah, this is one that's just making me ask why. Like, why are we here? Did anyone ever use that Wacom fountain pen that recorded your pen movements and digitized them? I think probably several of us have tested. I've tested a ballpoint style one, not a fountain pen style one, and they just don't work well enough. Although I didn't try the Wacom ones, and those are probably nicer. Okay, good morning, Tessa. The front button and rounded tip especially just feels digital. Yeah. Yeah, the way the logo is. Do we suspect this is a twist opening? Yes. So in the video they show a twist. You want to watch the video again? Here, we can run it. I'll run this without sound so we can keep talking. It's very pornographic. So this is also a complete change to the dialogue, which the initial thought on that, Evan, is this would be the cheaper dialogue. If we're not going dialogue 4, we're calling dialogue CC. This seems like it should be the cheaper version of it. Can we just can we schedule this to replay instead of going into other videos? One was a ballpoint, 2 was a roller ball, 3 was a fountain pen. Should be a pencil or 4 or something. Gotcha. So my biggest gripe with the Dialogue 3, and I'd be interested to see what you think, Evan, when you get yours, is that it when you retract the nib, the direction you retract it is a continuation of opening the barrel. So you retract the nib, and if you do another half turn, the barrel starts coming unscrewed. And I don't see that this is going to be any different here. This is like a 2001 Space Odyssey. You can toggle off autoplay over the top of the up next window. Okay. This has to be $300 though, like y'all are saying, right? It just has to be. Yeah, so you have to purposefully design around that, and it's not easy, but you have to reverse the threading and redo it. All right, where? What is all this? All right, I guess that's enough of that. It goes by too fast. Your guess is that it'll be even more expensive? Maybe. I'm undecided on the back of the pen. Yeah, I'm undecided on this. Whoops, let's go back a little bit. This shape, I'm not jiving. Autoplay is a little button above the list of recommended videos. Gotcha. Sorry, I'm a YouTube noob. All right, let's see if I can catch the autoplay. Although, I don't know, we don't need to play this all morning, I guess. When it's closed, it looks like a lip balm. Well, Lami's, where? Am I drunk, guys? Well, at least we keep going to Fig Boot, so. Sorry, I know y'all are yelling at me by now, but all right, last one. Yeah, I mean, just look at the Pico and look at the standard dialogue. They don't necessarily, break away from that design anyway. Thor's yelling at me. Bork's yelling at me. Oh, autoplay. Is that what I'm looking for? There we go. I turned autoplay off. Is that good? So, yeah, interesting. We'll see. Yeah, Talmax, the price should make you flinch. It's a lot for what it is. For not being awesome at its job. It's good at its job, but for that price I want it to be awesome at its job, and I don't think it is. Yeah, I mean, It feels pretty cool. I want to try one, but I'd never buy it. I think that's pretty much the dialogue thing. Carol, yeah, that's a decent way to look at it. It's still going to be a chunky pen. This has to be loop. Is that what we want? Loop. We'll try that. Thank you, Franklin. Yeah, the Vista's awesome, right? It's everything above. Did I say 300? That's our guess because the existing Dialogue 3 is over $300. It's $320. This looks like they're trying to mimic that and, you know, not really do something crazy different. So I'm guessing it's going to be in the same price point. Yep. That's I wish I'll bring my dialogue. Next time we stream on Tuesday, I'll bring my dialogue and I can show y'all how the twist works. So there's essentially a bump in the middle, right? But you feel on the internal. So you, once it's closed, that's the end of the line, and then you twist it out to extend the nib, and then you twist it back. It's about a half turn. Twist it back, and then when you twist it back, the nib retracts all the way. Then if you keep twisting, the barrel unscrews. Does the roll stop only pop out when it's open? It looks like it's out all the time. Is it not? Retract the nib, retract the nib. You think it's going to be like the Decimo versus the Vanishing Point? Meaning narrower. This does not look any bit narrower. Because the nib's the same, and I guarantee the mechanism's the same. There's probably no possible way it could be narrower. It could just be different. Thanks, Alan. Yeah, this roll stopper I don't think really works in its position, does it? You can get, Meg, you can get pens with decent nibs for, you know, $20 or less. You can get a Platinum Preppy for like $5. That's really awesome. Because that's the part that goes in between your fingers. Like, that's just the... They think, because that's what they think it's supposed to be. It would be much better in the center of the pen, but then it's in the way of, I guess, the threading. I mean, if you... Preppy versus Prefonte, yeah, I mean, I'd choose the Prefonte, but if you've never used one... do the Preppy. So I've been using my Prefonte. I thought I had an extra fine nib. I only have a fine nib, so I'm going to talk about that. Kyrios is definitely a better spaceship. Yeah, 100% better spaceship. You thought it was shorter and a little less wide? Are you talking about this pen, Bork and Bork? I will bring my dialogue next week. I'm going to make myself a note right now. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll buy that. I'll buy that until we see it, right? But I'm just seeing the nib and the mechanism being the same. It can't get any smaller. Yay, Phil's here. All right, bring Lamy dialogue. Let me type this down. Lamy. Nope, not mini. Today. Okay. It looks like the same material. I have the white Dialogue 3. It looks the same. The way the same fit, the finish is polished that way. It looks the same to me. Isn't it funny how much smaller? Okay, is that what it says, Evan? Smaller and more delicate compared to the 3. Okay, is this from the from Lamy.com. Is this a PDF you put? Does it say what the CC name is for? Oh, I forgot they're doing that Wacom one. Wacom one. Yeah, that's too many words. The 3 is a heavy pen? Yes. It's heavy and wide. No ladies pen, please. Lamy, I don't think Lamy's done that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We good with Lamy? Should we take down the video, change topics? I do have one show and tell for y'all today. But this was a good one. This is going to be very interesting. It's funny how we don't even give one iota about that other pen, even much to what it's called. Wade Mon, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. All right, Lamy, SSDD since 1908. That should be their whenever they were born. That should be their motto. Lamy, SSDD since 1908. Closest Lamy came to the ladies' pen is the CP1. What's funny is the CP1 is one of the best ones that they've ever designed, in my opinion. I love the CP1, and it gets absolutely no love whatsoever. The people who use the CP1 swear by it, but most people don't know it exists. What a fantastic pen. That other pen looks like something from Kickstarter. You could not have said that any better, Becky. That is exactly. I'm thinking right now IOPenna for that other one. I already forgot what the name is. But I'm thinking IOPenna. All right, do y'all want to see what I brought for show and tell today? I think you'll like it. It's something pretty cool. It's something that a friend ordered for me months ago. If Lamy hired Brad, I could get an orange L2K. You could get the second one. His forehead is larger than my future. I mean, that's a good place to be. I would rather be ahead of where your future, because it's clearly not very bright. Lamy has a pen called the Lamy Lady. Interesting. All right. So, y'all ready for this? I know my lighting's good today. Yeah, got the haircut, got the shave. Yeah, looking much better. Let's check this out. This is the danger zone right here. It's not a pen, but it works for pens. So, let's see what we got here. Is this poison? So this is the Moon Man. What do they call this thing? Oh no, this isn't Moon Man. This is Fan Mew. I don't even know what that means. So this is your fountain pen cleaning and inking syringe. You bought one of those, but mine was tiny. This looks bigger. So here's like a sign pen. So like it's the full length of a standard pen, right? It's plastic. Written in Rice was ordering one. She added mine in. I think it was just from whoever off of Rakuten. I think it was like $10, something like that. Wow. That's gonna be fun. This looks like something you'd get put in super jail if the cops found it. Yeah, for sure. So let's flip over here real quick, so I don't have to keep reaching up. How long did it take to get to you? About 2 months. All right, so here's this guy. So yeah, plastic barrel. You know, I don't know if all this is necessary up here. I guess that's just to make it look cool, right? So we'll have to test the suctioning ability. Next, if I do an Instagram video, On Monday, we'll use this for the for filling ink. Hang on one second. All right, didn't want to blow your ears out. Thank you. I don't have a link offhand. I could find it though. I'll uh I'll send it to you later. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, but Written in Rice was ordering this. This is when I forget who shared it with us on the silent sneezes are amazing. I don't think about that. I bet that looks pretty funny. Um, oh, thank you, Coco. We have fun. Elizabeth really wants to be on camera, and then when I throw it to her, she quiets up. So she really wants to be on camera. So I'll have to work her in there a little bit more next week. Maybe I'll just sit her in the frame with me. So she's like just comfortable being there. So yeah, if I haven't filled any new pens since I cleaned those pens Monday, so I'll save some until Monday, and we'll use this and see what it's like. But it feels like it's gonna do pretty well. Took you a while to get comfortable streaming, yeah, for sure. And my daughter is only 13, so she's like really wants to do it. Like she does the news for school, right, which is just like video that goes out to all the class, and she loves doing that. So she'll get more comfortable as she gets older and does it more. So can you take this apart to clean it? I guess is my one. This one's called FanMu, FANMU. Trying to see. Okay, it does unscrew up here. So it's just silicone greased up here in the front end. You can see it's a little shiny on the threads there. So yeah, as long as the mechanism holds, this should be a pretty cool little toy. I'm not going to get tired of doing that, sorry. See, is it an O-ring too? I didn't see close enough. It looks like at the top there. Alan Shootco, thanks for the follow. Yeah, there's an O-ring at the top, around the top of the ring. Yep. So we'll see how this goes. So I should be able to trying to see if there's any other place I can take it apart. Yeah, the notifications get wonky sometimes. Do you take the needle out to flush? On my regular syringes at home, I do. On this one, it seems more difficult. Like it's really tight. Like I can't get this one off just with my hand. So I might just flush it like this. Like, because it didn't ship in two pieces, right? It shipped with the needle attached. So I'm wondering how well that's on there. The way it's designed makes you think it should unscrew, but I'm not sure that it does. So anyway, that's we'll leave that there to trip people out today. Is this a link for them? Oh, so that's the front end for this thing. FanMu fountain pen ink bottle converter needle. So this is just the needle for the FanMu. Yeah, that's for sure the needle. And looking at this, like it looks like it just pulls out, not twists out. So yeah, I think that whole thing cost me $10 and then whatever shipping. And I'll get the link from Claire when I talk to her again. And yeah, it took about 2 months to answer the earlier question, which I did, but just reiterating this, we've been waiting on this for a while. So yeah, what a stream today. New Lamis, tricky syringes, and people making fun of my forehead. It's a day, Chad. I can't wait till I do this more and do this all the time. So if back to Coco's comment, the regular syringes work fine, the regular blunt nose. Yeah, full AMA. Anything you want. Doesn't have to be pens. Doesn't have to be anything. No restrictions. They attach the needle to a little converter to pull ink from a bottle. I've seen people doing that. All right, see, even supposing. Do you need a proofreader? Yes. Cute. Yes, I do. That the thing that made me mad about that, Phil, was that I purposefully went in to check that I did it right because I knew that I was liable to make that mistake, and then I still made the mistake. Just like the Pen Addict snorkel. Yes. Where you can just attach the converter to that front end of the needle. Oh, but what I was going to say, Coco, is you can just buy the blunt nose syringes and for like, a couple bucks each, and those have lasted me years. They break down eventually, and they're not as good to use, but like you don't have to go as far as something like this. Wouldn't make sense. Yeah, I wonder if this is going to get me kicked off of Twitch or something. But back to you, Phil. You'd have to get in line behind Tony. Oh, there you go. See? Exactly. Yeah, I would totally be down for an editor if I wrote that far ahead. I just don't. I don't have time to write that far ahead. So it's usually the day before. And can't wait to see swabs of the new J Herbal. Which new J Herbal? Yeah, editors mean deadlines. Thank you, Jason. What new J Herbal? Yeah, retroactive editing's fine. I don't mind. Y'all please send me corrections. Atlantis. I have not seen the Atlantis. Is this their new shimmer? I always get early views of the shimmer. They didn't get in touch with me this year. All right, let me pull this up and see if we need to put this up. What's up with that? They usually always send me the preview model like a month in advance. I hadn't heard from them. Rip. I'm off their list. Whoops. Does someone have a link? Because this doesn't come up. There we go. Vert Atlantide. Okay. October 1st. Wow. That's probably why I don't have it yet, because it usually comes out in August or July, and I usually have it in June or July. So let me pull this up here. So 350 years of know-how. I like that. That's because you're not on Slack? That is a fact. Factually correct, Phil. All right, go back, please. All right, so maybe that's why I don't have it yet, because because of the time frame. Have you inked up your Urushi Safari? Absolutely. The day I got it, it has Lamy Dark Lilac in it. How much will it cost, though? How much will this cost? The ink? It'll be $30, right? Isn't that what these normally go for? Because you linked the last ink on stream. What did I do? Oh, yeah, that's right. I did. I forgot about... How do you remember that, Beth? That is 100% what happened. Oh, crap. Supposedly gold and silver shimmer in here. Interesting. So it has the gold band and some gold text. So yeah, it's probably at least gold at a minimum. So maybe both. 30 to 35. Yeah. Oh, there's Evan. Didn't you technically break the NDA date with their Nepal ink? Yes. That was on Twitch. That was on Twitch, right? It wasn't on the podcast. It was on Twitch. I broke the NDA. It was only by a day, though, right? I was that close. It was literally the day before. Now it's all coming back to me. So yeah, that's funny. So yeah, I'm off the list now. But yeah, this is much later than normal, right? Isn't it normally an August release or July? Maybe August. So this is way late than, and every year was the same. It's very consistent for the past few years, coming up in around the August time frame. So I would usually have the ink by now. Yep, pretty cool. Wax sealing is definitely another rabbit hole. I haven't fallen yet, but I could, just because I don't write that many letters. But yeah, this year is a little different, right, Talmax? A little different in the production time. You have an NDA for a Sony game 2 years ago. I'm surprised the NDA would last that long. Yeah, delayed like everything else. Makes sense. Makes sense. Looks cool, right? It should do pretty well. That's a pretty neat. That's gonna be a pretty neat color. I like the imagery. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. Two-tone shimmer would be nice. Why hasn't anyone done that before? That seems like something I would have tried on like the second release of something. Just go ahead and, hey, what if we mix these two shimmers? Only threatened to arrest me if I've ever talked about it. Yeah, I've never had to sign one. Have I ever had to sign any paperwork for a stationery company NDA? I don't think I ever have. Kiwi does a two-tone shimmer. Inkvent 2020 double shimmer. NDAs when you did self-road testing? Yeah, absolutely. Did anyone ever break down and buy glitter from the glitter factory in New Jersey? What was the glitter factory? I forget. But yeah, very cool. Vert Atlantide. Which reminds me, I forgot to mention the J Herbin candles on the podcast this week. We had so much other stuff to talk about. I need to put the J Herbin candles. Sarah Bijou sent me a link to the J Herbin candle, so I'm gonna put that in next week's show notes right now while I'm thinking about it. All right, podcast 417. So we'll talk about the new Lamis. J Herbin. I really want a teal ink with pink shimmer. Why? That should happen. Like, I don't understand how that should happen. Yeah, I've supported Stuart Simple's work, Meg, because I've talked about that a lot. Not much on stream, but in some of the writing I do. So I support Stuart Simple with his Black is Black project and Pink is Pink and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely a fan. Yeah, candles. Do I have the link saved somewhere? I don't remember where I saved the link. Yeah, but I don't understand why we don't have the pink shimmer and the blue ink, or the blue shimmer and the pink ink, or all these other things. What are all your revenue streams? Mine specifically? Ooh, let's make a list. I need to write this down. So we have... So Kiwi Inks does this, Talmax, or at least does some different stuff. All right, revenue streams. All right, we're going to say blog advertising. We're going to say Pen Addict memberships. We're going to say podcast advertising. We're going to say, we're going to put down knock Even though I haven't made anything from Knock, we haven't taken any money out of Knock in over a year now. But we'll put down Knock because when it's going well, it is a revenue stream. So we'll put down Knock, then we'll put down Spoke, which I do make money from currently. I guess you put down Twitch. Twitch is like $100 a month, but hey, $1,200, that'll work. So Twitch, but that's very small. Oh, nice house. Brasstown. I love the Brasstown. Lamy Turquoise has a great magenta sheen to it. Lamy Turquoise is one of the great underrated inks. Relay memberships, yes. That does come separate from podcast advertising. Oh, and I should put down Pen Addict merchandise, right? Because that's a little bit like the Robert Oster ink. So Pen Addict merchandise. Yep, Pen Addict merch. Janik Hackus, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 things, 8 revenue streams. Like 2 or 3 of them are make up probably 60 or more % of it, right? So, like Twitch and Relay memberships and PA. Well, PA merch is okay. Like Knock is a 0. What else? Anything else? How many downloads does the podcast get? I don't do any guest speaking, and none of the other podcast stuff is paid. So we don't do paid appearances. YouTube, I think I've made like less than $5 off YouTube. So that one doesn't count. How many downloads does the podcast get? I think like when we drop a new episode, it's about 12,000. And then we'll get like 100,000 over a month with new and past episodes. I think, and that was like a year ago that I got the numbers from Mike. I rarely look at my numbers on anything like traffic and all that stuff. I haven't looked at Google Analytics in a year. I haven't asked Mike what our downloads are, but it's about 10 or 12,000 per episode, and then just like 100,000 total downloads in a month. So it's a lot. Like that seems like a lot to me. That's a good number. I'm happy with that. So yeah, I think that's it. So it sounds like a lot, but like all these, I have to have all these things like going together to like make what I make in a year. Like I'd have to look on my tax return to tell you what I made. It's definitely under 6 figures by a good amount. So don't think like this is more than enough to like live on, but I'm glad I'm married. The boys duly impressed. Good. So yeah, it's good. Like I'm very happy with what I've been able to do with pens. Like it's my job, and I'm glad, I'm fortunate to be able to make something of it. And I'm very proud of that fact. So, and just like this conversation, if anyone like really needs specifics on like how things work, you can always email me, and like we can set up a call to talk about if you want to do something. Like I don't have all the answers, but I can at least tell you some things that have worked for me and some things that have not worked for me. So, YouTube is so bad at monetization. Yeah, like I don't even try. Like my YouTube is passive, right? I record these streams and I export them to YouTube. I don't actively work at anything on YouTube like Fig Boot does. Like Fig Boot is a YouTube reviewer, right? He doesn't have a blog. I have a blog, not a YouTube. So he works at his YouTube content. Mine is completely passive. So yeah, it's wild. Yep. So yeah, let's see. Those are pretty much in order of where the majority of the money comes from. Blog advertising, memberships, podcast advertising, and then everything else. Yep, I think that's it. Cool. Good question, Schmevelin. I always have to think about that. Have you considered a Brad subscription service? What would that entail, Alan? Is there an ink you want that doesn't exist yet? We get something randomly Brad every month. No, that's pretty funny, though. Is there an ink you want that doesn't exist yet? I don't think I'm lacking. Like, I think if there's an ink I want that doesn't exist yet, I think I probably haven't explored that ink enough. Like, I don't know that I have my perfect pink ink, but it's because I haven't tried all the pink inks, right? I think I look at it more that way. Patrick, fixed my TWSBI 580 stub nib, followed some tips from an old ink habit video from online nib using brass shims to wheel tiny parts increase flow. Great. Awesome. Coco, San Francisco pen show updates. Last I've heard, as of late last week, scheduled as planned as scheduled. Scheduled as planned. Schmevelin, do I get a cut of Relay FM memberships? Yes. So there's individual podcast memberships and then there's network memberships. Although I think that's what just switched. So yes, I get a cut. Tessa, yes, about paper suppliers. Boy, that is a conversation. Yes. That's like probably a phone call, not an email, because there's a billion little details. Yes, so I obviously get a larger cut if it's direct to the Pen Addict Relay FM feed, to the sub. Will you come to San Francisco? I will not this year. Sorry. Next year, though. San Francisco is an awesome show. Why haven't you tried all the pink inks yet? Yeah, I'm a little bit late on the pink inks. Have I ever finished a bottle of ink? No. I have several down in the bottoms. Like my Iroshizuku bottle's low. I have a Sailor, Sailor Blue Black that's low. Pilot. No, my Pilot Blue Black's pretty full. It'd be one of the blue black inks that I use. Burgundy inks, I've never really, that hasn't been my jam. So yeah, I haven't figured that out. If we don't have any pen shows next year, I'm scared to see what my travel schedule will be like next year. Like, will I want to make up for all of it? What are your thoughts on screw in K6 converters versus friction fit K5 converters? I hate that I have to pay attention to which is which. I don't have a preference, other than it annoys me when I clean them that I want to keep the threaded ones with the threaded pens, whereas I just take the standard ones and just chunk them into a box. So I mean, yeah, technically maybe I'd rather have the threaded ones, but I just have to keep up with them more. You want to start a stationery company? Yeah, we need to have a phone call. That is a phone call or video chat, not an email, but we'll set it up via email. Finished a bottle of Noodler's Old Manhattan, Cobalt Blue. Yeah, my Iroshizuku, I'll probably need to I'm probably to order another bottle soon. That'll be my first bottle to finish. Have I seen the Sailor Four Seasons cartridges? Yes. I yelled at Artisanal Ink on Instagram for posting that. Interested to see the pen show changes from all of this? Yeah, like, are we going to see some fallout? I don't know. Manyo Kuzu? Okay, I've been liking the Manyo ink, so maybe I'll try Kuzu. Is Pen Addict going to the upgraded memberships like Upgrade has? Most likely yes, but we don't have the details. We're basically phase 2 of that program, and we're just gonna make everything's running fine, and like Upgrade and Connected have such bigger audiences than the Pen Addict. That's the test bed, right? So if that goes well, Mike and I will we'll be doing an added podcast, one extra podcast per month at least for that. So yes. So TBD, but planning on it. Yeah, I think, Alan, I think it's mostly crowd control type of measures. If you're already a Relay M Pen Addict specific supporter, would I be in that Pen Addict Pro? I need to clarify that. I think? Question mark? I think so. I think so. I'm gonna make you get a Relay membership. That's kind of my job. It's my gig. This is a really good question, podcast planner. Question for anyone with Zoom nib experience. How often do you just write with the thicker side than the thin side? I'm not very interested in exploring this type of nib. I'm not a huge user of bold nibs. I'll let someone answer. I have opinions. Don't you already, Tony? I invoice you less than I should. So, but yes, I do get enough of your money. Thank you. All right, so we have I love the Zoom nib. I hate the Zoom nib. Anyone else want to chime in? Y'all already, a lot of you that know me already know my opinion. Yeah, that's a lot. Get a pet. Like, I think they're gonna work on that, on how that stuff works. All right, hate the Zoom nib. Ambivalent about the Zoom nib. Hate the Zoom nib. Never tried it. Never tried it. I hate the Zoom nib. So, it is not. Emily, thank you for the follow. It is not what I expected it to be. It is essentially just a wide, broad nib, and I never liked the variation. The variation was never worthwhile for me to make a difference in wanting that nib. So I do not find it useful. I would rather just have, yeah, it's a good, if you want to get it ground into something else, that's a great one. Like, I got mine into a big old gigantic Architect nib, and it was great. It was way better than the Zoom nib. I ended up selling it, but yes, Meg, you've been assimilated. So yeah, the Zoom nib is a great platform for future nib work. But as for a standard pen, I never felt that you got enough variation from it no matter what you did. Right? I would just rather have something else. So, there you go. That's my opinion. It's a better concept than it is when it's executed, I guess is the best way to say it. So, the execution when you're using it is just not great. I wanted it to be great. Yeah, otherwise it's a great reverse right. Like, I would just strictly have it like reverse right. Like, that's what it does best, but I'm not okay, let's have another question. How many OSU, I have not used the Aurora Gochia, but I got a text here. Here's I don't know what's coming, so I got this text this morning from my good friend Carrie at Kenro Industries, a distributor in the U.S. of Aurora. Good morning. I hate when someone says they sent you something and it's like 3 days away, LOL. So we sent you something and it is arriving today. Yay me. So maybe it's an Aurora Nochi. So we'll see. We'll see what I get from Kenro today. I have no clue what it could be. So I'll either be able to take a picture of it and tell you what it is, or I will not be allowed to talk about it. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't have anything else coming in. Am I gonna put more pins up for sale? Yes, Bork and Bork. I don't have it. I haven't spent the time to sort out what I have, but I at least have one more good round of sales in there, like 10 to 20 pins coming up. Like, that's in my head to work on. I just haven't put in the time to deal with it yet. Inkwell Monster, that's a very good bet. The Sparkle SD. Diamond Cast? So yeah, I don't know what else it could be. I'm going to do the journaler nib review for Monday. I'm almost certain. I've had that journaler nib forever and I love it, and they just haven't been able to have them out for sale yet, and they finally have them out for sale, so I've just been waiting on that. You have a Nebulosa coming the next time I see all the hobbies. I was thinking I need to ink up my Nebulosa. On the drive over here, I was thinking about that pen because I was thinking about rose gold and all the mistakes I made on on 2 podcasts ago about the rose gold composition. So that was good to have good listeners. Get in there, pen. I had to put this back up because I keep fidgeting with it. I'll fidget with this though. This is one of my favorite pen releases of the year. I'm fully on the Aurora train these days. Speaking of Aurora, I've heard great things about their really expensive pens. How are there less expensive ones? That's a good question. I haven't tried the less expensive ones because I haven't been that impressed. I'm a fan of the more expensive ones. I don't have a steel nib Aurora that I've ever tried. Oh, Gumbo Man Pat, yeah, that thing is awesome. Aurora style, don't go less than a Talentium. Yeah, I should get something someday to try it, but that's why, like, I was completely off Montegrappa's low end stuff too. Than this last one, since they switched their nib manufacturers. I love the Elmo. It's still expensive though. I mean, $200 is still very expensive for their low end pen. I'm talking about Montegrappa. I did try that hooded nib Aurora. What was that hooded nib Aurora one? I like that one. That one was pretty cool. That was like 100 low hundreds. Duo cart, yes, thank you. That seemed pretty cool. I like that one. Aurora always seemed expensive for what you're getting. And their lower end, yeah. I mean, on their high ends, yeah. Aurora and Montegrappa are very similar in that vein. Especially on the low end. How different is the Elmo and the new Esterbrook? They don't really feel anything alike to me. Just because it's narrower. The Elmo's narrower. The threading's a little bit different. I don't know, it just has a little bit different feel. I could do a comparison of those. But the Elmo is a thinner pen, while not being too thin. The SD is just a large pen. Elmo is much more streamlined than that. Yeah, it's been harder. The Italian brands really haven't historically done a great job on the low end of things, and now I think they're finally like seeing maybe there's something. Like, they're gonna have to start. All of these companies are gonna have to start competing with Leonardo really quick. Dan John chased you away from Aurora pens. Any particular reason? I have a friend who thinks Esterbrook is made by Montegrappa. He thinks there's some similarities with the Elmo. I'm pretty sure they're... I don't know. My guess is no. I'm thinking about this. Yeah, I don't think that's even possible. I don't know. Something about how hard they were to clean. Aurora's piston fillers are hella hard to clean. I will agree with that completely. Especially the demonstrator one, when you could see they have this so Aurora's piston has a reserve on the tip of the plunger, right? So it has this ink reserve that is stupid. Like, there's no point for this ink reserve. And so no matter how much you clean out of this pen, you still get some coloration in the ink reserve. And it's just annoying. It just takes a lot of extra flushing to clean the piston. So if you get an Aurora, don't get a demonstrator because you'll never be happy with what the piston looks like. So get a solid barrel, and then they're much easier to clean because you can't see what's in the reserve. You believe Esterbrook and Wancher share an OEM? I don't know who OEMs Montegrappa. That would make more logical sense to me in how the pens are manufactured. I would tend to agree with that more. Yeah, you want to stay in the same kind of range of inks, and that's the thing with my Optima. I put all kinds of different inks in Demonstrator so I can see the ink, and then I end up just fighting that little piston reserve, which that is legitimately not a selling point. It is worthless. Agree, OSU. That's pretty much how I do it as well. So, but yeah, that is one of my least favorite pens to clean. What's your OnlyFans? I really need to get an OnlyFans, right? Like, so here's my revenue streams, Instagoose. So I have a blog. I have a blog membership. I have podcast advertising. I have a pen case company. I have a pen company. I have Twitch. I have podcast memberships, and I have merchandise. OnlyFans is what I'm missing on here. God, you're so smart, Instagoose. I need an OnlyFans. That's what everyone wants from the next forefront for the Pen Addict. Onlyfans.com/Pen Addict. Except, yeah, I'm going to end that conversation now. All right. Pelicans are the easiest cleaning pens. So for a piston filler, Pelican is a pleasure to clean. They come out crystal clear real quick. Those nib units, the way they integrate in there and just clean out. So yeah, they're really, really great. Jam, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Got my OnlyFans coming up. Are pencils any good? Absolutely. I got Ravi Shankar pencils yesterday. A friend of mine sent me 2 of the Ravi Shankar pencils. That's going to make me buy a dozen, even though I don't want to, because they have the extra firm graphite. So did anyone else get those? The Ravi Shankar Blackwing? I don't even know what the volume number is called. Is there any good starter Pelican pens? Some of them are pretty pricey. Yeah, that is Pelican's kind of gotcha. So the 205 is kind of their entry-level piston. If you shop around, you can get a 205 for like $80 to $90. And that's still very expensive. Like, don't get me wrong. But that's the best writing experience for the best price that Pelican offers. It's a fantastic pen. They have fantastic nibs. They're just not cheap. That one's always hard to recommend because it's a weird price. Anderson Pens was showing a TWSBI pencil yesterday. Have you had an experience with it? Yes, I didn't quite like it enough for what it is. Right, so it's made to be like in that Rotring metal barrel, Statler metal barrel, $20 to $30 price point, and the TWSBI didn't quite deliver as good an experience as some of those other ones. The Pelican Stola wasn't bad, and that was only like, what, $25, $30? I honestly would still recommend paying 3 times that much for the 205. It's just that much better of a pen with the piston. Cult Pens is definitely my Pelican dealer if I need a Pelican. Like, if you're in the U.S., you pretty much have to buy Pelicans overseas. Yeah, and you would expect TWSBI, Alan, would be the one to try something different, and they didn't. They just did hey, we're going to make the pencil like all these other ones in the same price range. And it's perfectly fine. I'll just never choose to use it over so many similar pencils I have that are better. That's the thing about like all these stationary products. Like, all these stationary products aren't bad, but are they going to replace my usage for something that's exceptional? And that's hard to do. Pre-pandemic, you could find M8s for under $300. Absolutely. They actually made a Pelican. I don't know if they called it the 205, but they made it without the piston in it. Do y'all remember that one? That was a couple years ago. I think I reviewed one of those. It was a cartridge converter that looked like the black 205. Was it the P200? Yeah, 205s and so that's the 205. Yeah, 120 on the demonstrator one. Oh, P205. So I'm saying P instead of M. So thank you. Yes. I like Pelican's naming convention. I do mix it up, but theirs is at least consistent once you have it sorted out. So yes, the Pelican M205 is the piston filler that I'm recommending, where the P for not piston. Do I have that right? Because that makes sense. No, I think they only did it in the 205, which makes sense, right? They're not going to do a non-piston filler Pelican over that. Toying between a Sailor Pro Gear Slim or an Esterbrook Esty, I'm a relative fountain pen newbie. I think that's a hard question because those are pretty far apart in what they are and what they offer. My initial gut reaction is the Sailor because of a gold nib and how much I like Sailor's gold nibs, even though that's a smaller pen. The Esterbrooks are big pens. They're very large and they're very nice and they're very beautiful and they have great steel nibs. But you're asking like one of the biggest Sailor super fans, like, would you buy a Sailor or something else? And I'm going to probably pick the Sailor a lot. So I'd be interested to see what the chat has to say because those are two not close styles of pens to me, right? They're in the same price range, but style wise and how they fit you and your hand and your writing, they're very different. So that's a hard choice for me. My gut says I would be happier with the Sailor Pro Gear Slim, but maybe not. I don't know. That's tough. I didn't mute that one. That one came on quick, chat. Sorry. Pelican says the Pelican Collectibles confirms they only did the P200 205. That makes logical sense. And it must not have done that well because that was like pretty much a one-off at this time, right? You view it as a pocket pen versus a regular pen. That's fair. Yeah, it depends on your hand size. Yeah, those are crazy different pens. What I don't understand is the Pelican M101N is the price point. I agree, but I don't know how to answer that. I mean, it's the same price point as the 400s, right? Which is the pen it's closest to. Right? Well, it's more. Probably because they're more limited. Probably the quantity is less, right? Than the 400s. So they're priced in between the 400s and the 600s. I don't know. Maybe it's just a quantity thing. Because they always count those as a special edition. Not really limited, but they count that as a special release. You know, make one of those a year kind of thing. I don't know. That's my only guess. Because they're very expensive relatively compared to the 400. Because I think I paid like $280 for my 400, and the 101s were like $350. Do I have that about right? So, yep, a little bit different, but it is for a company that already prices things high. It's a little bit relatively high. I would say the 101s. It's just such a great pen, right? They can clearly get the price for it. You think they're just milking the vintage fans? I think that probably goes for everybody, right? I think that's probably like in Operations Manual 101. They know they can get it. They release one every year. So they know they're going to sell them. Marketing 99. Yeah, exactly. Pelican's pricing and U.S. distributor are the two reasons I find it hard to recommend Pelican, even though they are my favorite pen. Agree completely. I still recommend them because we have so many great options to buy from overseas that it's a non-issue for me. I mean, I love my advertisers, but it's not their fault. but I'm gonna send people somewhere else when they can save like $150 to $200 on an M800. Like, it's not even funny. Like, it's not even an attempt to make it competitive. You haven't needed the warranty. I mean, that's fair, but I'll just get someone else to fix it. Like, that wouldn't phase. I mean, me personally, that wouldn't phase me. But yes, I would understand other buyers like saying, "Well, if I need support for this pen, I can no longer get it." But there's so many options of people that can fix them. Thanks, Hells. Have a good one. I'm not far behind you. We'll hang out for a few more minutes, then I got to run chat. Got stuff to do. Got a pretty low-key Thursday today. No 1 o'clock recording, and the wife's off, so we're pretty chill, but I got a lot of writing to do this afternoon. So we'll head out in a few. I gotta go set up my OnlyFans. That's what I gotta do. That's what I didn't tell y'all I'm doing this afternoon, chat. We gotta set that up. I'll get right on that. Cult Pens has better pricing. Absolutely. That's where I send people to first. What's the cost of third-party repairs versus the savings buying used gray market? I mean, it's 1 versus 0, right? It's $50 versus 0. But it's also $50 and a two week turnaround as opposed to $0 in 2 or 3 months. You know, probably on a good day, right? Show off your king of pens, yeah. Yeah, for $100 of difference. Yeah, we're on the same page, Evan. Pay a few bucks more to have a warranty, but for hundreds of dollars, it's gonna. Even adding in future repair costs, you're still gonna make out. Third-party repair for plating on your M805, Becky. I would love to know what you find out, because that's not something I've experienced, and that would be a great kind of detail to have. So if you wouldn't mind sharing with me if you find something out, that would be kind of interesting to know, because that's a tough one. Got called away to a college just to press send an hour ago. That's funny. Has anyone made a transparent aluminum demonstrator yet? That I can't even math that in my head. Oh, Borkenborg, does the SIG from Franklin Christoph vary a lot between sizes? Is the character of the grind consistent? That's a really good question. I don't have a great answer because my only SIG is an extra fine, and it's wider than like a normal extra fine, but it's got that SIG variation in it. So I can't say, but someone else might be able to if they have multiple SIGs. I only have an extra fine one, and it's just one of my favorite nibs. I think it was just a joke, Meg. But it was a good one. It's on the cap. The ring on the finial has some flaking. Interesting. Okay, so mine's a number 6 SIG. Number 6 EF. Is it really? Jason, I had no idea. Sapphire glass is technically transparent aluminum. Now y'all have me curious. Yeah, Thunder Viking, that's a good point. I think it's really kind of the general rule of thumb. And as someone who gets those types of nib grinds on fine pens, I don't benefit from the wide range of variation that you get on a medium and broad nib grind. Broad SIG was a good bit wider. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's something I don't mention enough when I talk about my handwriting. I just forget it, right? Just because I'm not used to commenting, but that's absolutely truth. Synthetic sapphire rods. Y'all are blowing my mind with this. Machining sapphire sucks. For watch, they did some watch cases. That sounds insane. Yeah, Evan, that's what I have. Number 6 EF SIG is one of my probably like top 5 nibs that I have. I think this needlepoint, this is a number 5 Masayama needlepoint I put in here. That's one of my favorites. Like, I know you can't see it, but it is needly and firm. All right. We're going to wrap it up. I'll let y'all know what I get from Kenro if I can. We'll post something up. I've had some questions about the analog cards I posted on Instagram yesterday about ink performance. I'll follow up on that on Instagram today. We will, yeah, I got some writing to do the next 2 days. I would be the first in line for a Vanta Black coated pen, except not Vanta Black. Black is black. I'd have to buy Black is Black. Bye, Luna. I hope you have a good day. So yeah, we'll buy Black is Black. Stuart Simple Black. So yeah, maybe I should shoot him an email. Let's work on a project. That could have been a cool Retro 51 project. If I could have got Stuart Simple into Black 2.0. Yeah, there you go, Black 2.0. And made a retro out of that. That would have been sick. Or do a combo with a Black is Black and a Pink is Pink. Maybe in the future. All right. I'll be around. Hit me up if you need me. And we'll see about doing an Instagram on Monday afternoon again. That's I'm just going to play it by ear. And see how that goes. So won't have to make fun of my hair as much this time. So all right. Bye.